Hello, and welcome to our Link to the Past Randomizer daily race here on Speed Gaming 3. We got ourselves a Crosskeys race between um, our two featured runners here are Average Frustrated Gamer, hence referred to as AVG, and Ed3. I'm Professor Render, and joining me is Artero. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good in yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing great. You got a really nice green looking code, except for the hook shot. That's kind of mildly annoying, but
It is very green up there. I had not noticed that before now. I wonder if that's a sign of things to come with that green pendant.
I don't know. Um, well, yeah. So cross keys. For those who are not aware of what cross keys is, this is a crossworld entrance shovel plus key sandy attached to it. So as we're gonna soon see, we have the sanctuary in the Lost Woods because that counts as a drop down by the game. So we already found flippers too, so that's always a good sign.
It's a good start, and Sanctuary in Lostwood is not too bad. It's closer to Kakariko, so it makes for a good save and quit. And especially if there's interesting connectors in there. And of course, cross keys means a lot of checks. We will be going into all the houses you usually don't see, looking for these connectors in dungeons and other items that could be hiding in there.
Yeah, and that's what the nice thing about cross keys really is. It's just like you have access to you have access to these checks that you don't normally check. We
Oh,
already
and
found. Okay.
Lumberjack is nothing, which is a good news for the racers because you don't want Lumberjack to be something important like Kakariko Well, for example.
Yeah, just the useless fairy. We already found Sashrala, and you're feeling that the green pendant is sitting in Desert Palace.
We were talking about that green pendant. I wonder if Desert Green Pendant is gonna be something interesting.
Yeah, and sometimes there's quite a number of ways to start a cross key seed. Some people will start by checking the sanctuary. Others will try and start doing. We'll head over to do the potion shop, and then lead into some other drop downs. Others will just rush the castle. There's a lot of ways to start a cross key seed.
Yeah, some players prefer as well to simply go and do Ulahan right away, get the cash going in case. So we'll see what these guys do. But so far, they've been following each other's steps. We are now going to see what Iroh Castle is hiding from us. We saw a small key for Turtle Rock. First of four. We might not need all of them. It depends also if Turtle Rock is a pendant or not. But we know for sure that with entrance being shuffled, usually you don't need all the keys for Turtle Rock because you can find other entrances and skip some of these key requirements you have in the dungeon. Which is the fun part with this.
Right, and we do find Eastern Palace in the front of Hyrule Castle. It's a great way to start too. Like that's already our first dungeon, a very easy dungeon to get through. Just right next to each other, like right next to our two spawn points. Like,
Yeah, and a thing to note because this is cross keying with all the keys shuffled, dipping dungeons several times will happen. It's kind of necessary. You will need to find keys somewhere in big as much as small keys as much as big keys. So they will not hesitate to go in even if they don't have what's required to complete the dungeon, just so they can find progression somewhere. So we will see a lot of double dipping.
yeah, it's as you mentioned, it's not uncommon for multiple dips to occur in a dungeon. So I guess I can comment on some of the subscriptions that we have. AFG is running Morden Koopa, one of the 7 Koopalings, and Mr. Ed is running Homer Simpson.
All right. So,
So-
while we are seeing them go through checks in Eastern, some dark rooms here. Put something very common again. The dark rooms. You will see that a lot too. Until we find that pesky lamp, if they ever find it. The Crosskeys without a lamp is something common too, right?
It is a common sight, yeah. Although, confession, I can. The only dark room that I can't really consistently do is really the Death Mountain Descent cave. Just especially the one you're coming from the Death Mountain entrance. Like that is that to me is pretty hard. We found a small key for Turtle Rock in the big key chest of Eastern, and that's enough for AFG to say, well,
Actually, AFG is going back in. What is he going to farm in there? Oh, did he forget to do that first chest?
that might explain why. Yeah.
Yes.
No big deal.
I mean, it's 300 rupees. You kind of want that, just in case.
Right.
Alright, so, something new from Mist Ahead. Another entrance we don't usually see normally, but that we see now, and it's just one of the vendors.
Yeah. I personally like to call it light hype because it is the light world equivalent of Hype Cave or Cave 783 or over Heights Cave, whatever. Point stands. It's the light world version of that cave.
If I'm not mistaken, it's also a fairy in the light world usually.
Yeah, it's a fairy in the light world.
And a little check to the which is a connector. Instead, it's gonna take a look, see what's on the other side. Dangerous because you might get stuck. But that's kind of hilarious. It's right next to Link's house.
Yeah. So that those Quarreling Brother like the Quarreling Brother connector doesn't really lead to much, so we can immediately write that off. And AFG has found Turtle Rock, the laser bridge specifically.
It's a very lucrative found. 4 checks in 10. That's gonna be it. Can't really go to a flute. But can't really do anything else in Turtle Rock for now. There's no Chain of Samaria. You kind of need that to go further in. Castle Tower Key. That's not something we like to see.
Yeah. AFG is doing pretty good with these laser skips though. Yeah, it took a death on one of the I'm trying to do one of the laser skips, but yeah, doing really good on these. I personally would never be doing this these laser skips on this low of equipment. We find also Swamp Big.
Not useful. I mean, it doesn't lock you out of the dungeon. It could still be something in the big chest, but less of a useful big key.
And so, for bookkeeping's sake, we know that Mr. Ed had found the Skullwoods back in what I think I'm just going to refer to it as the light world equivalent of Arrow Game. And then Spiral Cave, Spiral Cave. Turtle Rock Laser Bridge was in the Kakariko Fortune Teller.
Yes, and we just found as well Paradox. And Kakariko Well is vanilla, interestingly enough.
Not uncommon for Crosskeys to roll vanilla, like because there's only 8 drop downs in the entire game, so it's chances of finding a vanilla connector or vanilla drop down is pretty considerate.
I see the map for Skullwood on one side and the big key for Skullwood on the other side. That was pretty well timed.
Yeah. So
To note though, we did find a swamp small on Mr. Head's side in Paradox, which is a pretty important small key to find. Can't go anywhere without that small key, so that's a good find. We still don't know if it's a pendant or crystal though, but hey, at least they won't have to be look for that one.
Right. Without that small key, you're only checking one chest, and that's it. We do find a sword on the bottle vendor, and we also find that Mr. Ed has found the dark depth mountain bottom, and right next to it is Hype Cave.
I cave that can't be done because being in the dark world can't use bombs. So could only do the first check there, but it's interesting to know it's there. Pretty sure that's gonna be one of the first place to check back once that moon pearl has been found. And we see AFG finding Paradox bottom.
No, Paradox middle. Paradox middle.
Oh, okay. If we want to call it Paradox middle.
I think I prefer to call it Paradox Middle because in a way it's the middle of the Paradox Cave.
That's fair. We also have already a Master Sword on AFG side, which is good. Early swords is always nice, since it's the only weapon they have right now.
The useless fairy ended up being the uncle drop down. And we also found another vanilla drop down, and that was the
That's Amber. That's bat. The bat. Yes.
yeah, magic bat. And we also had revealed that the Ganon is going to be located at the sanctuary drop down.
Which is good.
Considering
So Lumberjack is at Pyramid then?
that's correct. Yeah, that sounds about. No, we did see Lumberjack already, and that meant the thief drop down is at the pyramids.
Oh, it's a thief's drop down at the pyramid. Either way, it's something they won't be able to check and see what's there. So if it's required, that's gonna be a very late check.
Correct. And ideally, in a Crosskeys seed, you want it so that the useless fairy ends up being on the drop down. So that means you could stop at Moldarm 2 chest, mirror out, and then you don't have to worry about Ganon's Tower ever again. You don't have to kill Agatu or anything.
I mean, you could always get sanctuaries at the pyramid too, because I mean, sanctuary is at least is easy to get through once you find Hyrule Castle. Not ideal, of course, but at least with Hyrule Castle, you can still access it without problem.
Yeah, like that's the other one too. If it's one of those cases where you don't have the sanctuary as the pyramids, then your best bet is to you're ideally looking for the useless fairy to be in that spot.
So we see Mr. Head walking in the footstep of AFG, and AFG finding at the back of Skullwood, which is another good find. We see it's a crystal as well, because we did find that map, so we can see the little C telling us it's a crystal. We don't know if it's a 5-6 though, or a regular crystal, but it's good. It's the first crystal to note. I understand why AFG did not want to go kill Damat, because one, missing a key, but two, 5 hearts with Master Sword is not the best. But it still need the fire rod. That's right, no fire source. But
I was gonna comment that there's still no fire source. You could try and fight Moth with just a lamp. It's out of logic, but but it's still 5 hearts Mafula.
Yeah,
And
that's scary. I don't like that.
yeah, that's a hard no for me.
This is Ice Palace and Kakariko. Kakariko having all the goodies. Talking of goodies, Molten Cave now. I. It's lucky the players are finding all of that right away.
Right. A lot of the 5 a good chunk of the item chest locations have been accessible early on. So that does mean that we are getting more chests out of the way, and we're hoping to find more as we continue. Also, one thing to point out: Ether was at that mini Moldorm cave, and I did see, I believe, Mr. Ed did it too. So,
there was also a small key to Pod, one of 6, and these are required.
right, by logic, all 6 are required.
Yeah, but we know they'll probably skip some if they can. Although there are some checks you don't want to miss in Crosskeys. It's not like regular where there's a key there, so you can just skip it. In this case, they can't, because it could be an important item or key left behind. So we'll probably see 5 keys at least to try to get everything.
It's more common to get 5 to get 5 items or to get 5 keys, just because you could hammer up the dark maze, and that is your way out.
Yeah, but we still have to find Pod, so this is far away for now. The key on Lake Alia Island, small key, so we don't know if that's required.
Right. We did also see that the upgrade ferry was just a shop, nothing else. We found Super Bunny Cave in the Waterfall Ferry. This is one of those ones where it's one way only. So AFG is saying, hold on that thought.
Understandable. Checking Zora first makes sense, and they're not lacking rupees, so quick check there too is a good way to make sure you don't have to come back here. Unless, of course, Super Bunny actually connects to something important.
All right. Mr. Ed has also revealed that Mr. Ed has revealed that the back of boots on Zora
Oh, that is a good find.
for sure. And also, I just found the old man because I was going to comment that the back of Old Man Cave is in its regular position.
That makes it so much easier to save the old man too. Don't have to go across the mountain.
Ah, and we also find that the sync card was on the Zora ledge too. We got it at the refill.
And if once Mr. Head goes to Zora, I'm pretty sure he won't say no to grabbing that art too. Still a little bit short on Alt the start of this, so that's an interesting way to do that, using the bomb jump instead of just pushing the blocks.
I never thought to bomb jump there. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think of doing that bomb jump because I don't ever think about it because like going around that way.
That I just surprised me the same as you. I never thought of doing that before. That's I'm gonna have to keep that in mind because that's an interesting way to go across.
Yeah. I'm gonna steal that.
A small key to Iroh Castle and a small key to Pod. So 2 keys for Pod and 10 the Iroh Castle small, which we kind of need and don't need. Considering they know where the drop down is, and they've already done the back of escape. They don't need the key to go through the door. They can still do Dark Cross once they found the front.
Oh, unrelated. So Mr. Ed has also revealed that the bottom of so the bottom of Spec Rock leads to Aga Tower, and we know where and we've now known that where both items are because we had that Castle Tower small using the ether to reveal where the guards are by using its freezing capabilities. And AFG will also make his way over to Skull Woods. Now, doing this bunny revive is out of logic, but considering that we're just doing Skull Woods, this isn't really a big deal.
Also, logic. When do we follow logic?
Well, considering entrance, never.
I mean, even when it's not entrance, we tend to skip logic when it's more convenient to skip it. I am curious about that. Oh, he's gonna check the other entrance to Skullwood. Alright, that makes sense why he stayed on Alpha Heart. It's a quick death and then can come back as a bunny. And we see that Pod is a pendant, blue pendant, and then of course Skullwood's a regular crystal. We knew it was a crystal, but now we know it's a regular one.
Okay, so that's some good information to know. We already know one of the pendants. We just need to know one of the other pendants, because we already knew what green pendant was through Saha.
Yeah, Desert Palace being the green pendant, and now another pendant found. That's pretty good already. Hopefully they find out which pendant is their last dungeon, because that will orient them with what they need to find to complete the seed. Rather than wonder if they're doing something for no reason. Although, mind you, they will just go in all the dungeons anyway to find items and keys. Because that's the beauty of Crosskeys.
Yeah, and oh hey, we found Samaria in pendant in our green pendant Desert Palace.
Someone on chat commenting Pearl on Ped.
I commented this in the chat. I believe it should be possible. I mean, should be impossible at this rate. Should be impossible.
Well, we found the back of Skullwood, which no, that's a crystal. We haven't found Pod yet. Yeah, and we haven't found the back of Desert either. So it's kind of pointing more and more toward being Dark World access dungeons. Ooh, the lamp. Hey, there's a lamp.
And said lamp is Pearl Locks.
Yeah, out of logic.
Yeah, it's Crosskeys, so its entrance. It's following logic is kind of pointless. The only logic you really care about is Boom Pearl, and that's it. And then the rest, it's just do whatever you can to get a logic.
I mean, it could be interesting to see someone try to follow logic on the Crosskey seed, but that would take way too long.
Right. There's AFG showing that where these two quarreling brother entrances had led to.
And or Witch Hut is now at Minimal Cave. So once they found that mushroom turn it in, they'll have to fly to 7 and 10. Or 8. 8 would be closer. 10 go to Mini Moldrum Cave to see what it is.
Alright, and actually speaking of floating to 8s, that's the way to get into desert. It looks like it's from the desert right entrance and from the dam, so that's nice.
We are seeing Ice Red Cave in the other entrance there. No gloves, so can't check that last one, of course. And it was pretty useless. So, well, no, we found Ammerpeg there, I believe, with 3 bombs. Right, so they are going in each other's footstep. Let's see, we don't have a lot of information to go on right now. We know for sure we need the fire rod.
One thing we hadn't done really is, and this is understandable, we didn't check the other deserts, the other entrances for with the other entrances, other connectors to desert. So we haven't seen desert left, we haven't seen desert center.
That's true. They haven't gone toward the desert area either yet. So that is something they'll need to check eventually.
Mr. Ed is on the way to get to the boots. This will be something that's nice for him to see.
Yes, and not too late on this, so it's not going to give too much of an advantage to AFG on the speed part of things. While we are seeing AFG do all these mountain checks that they have access to. Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, yes, you see them pick up maps. It's the only way, really, to know what is a pendant, what is a crystal, so pretty important.
Right. And I was going to comment that we did see that one of the maps is actually the one of the 2 useless maps, and that's GT map and Hyrule Castle map.
Yep. That's the small key to Hyrule Castle. And what? So, I guess we're some of the few people that doesn't think of doing those bomb jumps. Prof. Well, Mr. Ed just did that, actually.
I'm starting to think that I'm gonna just in general steal that, because that is something that I never would have thought to do, just like ever, because you don't come out of if you're doing this in Funny Cave normally, you would have presumably you'd have a hookshot and mirror at that point, so it's no reason to do that bomb jump at all. But in cases where this is Crosskeys, might want to keep that in mind.
Crosskey, retrans, there's quite a few actually that I can think of that would have use for this. Even inverted up to some point.
Oh, so AFG has found the Death Mountain Descents connector. Just gonna follow that through, and it just leads to the outside of Easter Palace area. So there is a quick way. There is a quick way to the mountain if we didn't have Flute by now.
Yeah, but will be marked as useless connector now. Although, I mean, now he's at the eastern, so might as well check what's at eastern. You have 2 more entrants here to check.
Yeah, it is a useless one because we could just easily get to the eastern area if it does lead to something of note.
Yeah, in both directions, it's because of the flute. It wasn't it for the flute that would be good, but the flute does render this useless.
Correct. Nothing in C-shape house that's at Eastern Palace, and with a flute that means we can flute over to the fight area quickly. And there's Arrow Game.
That's a very accessible place, but we are not lacking in rupees, so not going to be used.
Uh, it won't be. It's not a necessity for us. Just it's only in cases where you're absolutely like desperate for rupees, then you do it. I would mark it off either way, just in a just in case scenario.
I mean, at this point, they've already paid Zora. They have a few games to do and then the pod entrance to check, but they still have a lot of rupees.
Right, and I'm only saying just in case because of the potion shop.
Ah, that's fair. If they need a few potions. Although it's adding up to be a very LTC so far.
Mr. Ed did do show a little bit of hovering here. Gets halfway across the gap, but falls, doing it twice, 3 times, and that's enough for him to say that. Okay, that's it. We're gonna bomb jump.
Much easier that way. We also found the third key to TR. Right? That's all the key for TR, even though, well, they actually can go further in TR now because they have that Samara King.
Right, and that's and we know this because of the fact that we know of Laser Bridge, and all you really gotta do for that is just hold up, straight up hold up once you get to the dark maze of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not a problem for AFG with the lamp either. Oh, there's our desert area. A small key on the ledge. We'll see what the Keena's cave has for us.
Now, AFG hasn't seen what leads from the Fairy Ascension Cave as he finds the Dark Chapel in Nagina's Cave, but ooh, that might be nice.
Oh, hey! Top of Hyrule Castle. Ooh, a mirror.
That's definitely a must, but it looks like the top of the castle doesn't really give you anything here.
Nope, pretty boring.
Like Ped most of the time.
That I agree.
Yeah, such is life, really. Other than that, though, AFG is gonna go ahead and do it's gonna head back up to Super Bunny Cave again.
It's funny, now we're seeing it done the both way, because now that AFG has the mirror, he's just gonna delete the blocks.
We've seen 2 ways of doing this already, and this is the one that most people are gonna be doing anyway. But,
Good idea. Mirroring or checking this already, not to forget. Ooh, chess game. Nothing, but still found chess game.
yeah, it's chess game, and we got an item out of it. So now EFG didn't play around more with the Dark World, just bunny walk around.
They've been knocking out chess location really fast.
Oh, definitely. It's been really quick. A lot of things that would block stuff out, we've got access to, so it doesn't feel like we're like being like choke, going through a choke. We're not going into like some sort of choke point here. So we find the back of Hookshot Cave on the Dark Chapel entrance.
And then AFG is gonna take that time to check what's at Sanctuary, seeing that it's Ganon. So knows where to find Ganon. That's gonna be a quick go-to when they're ready for that. While we see Mr. Head going to the Eastern Palace zone. They're kind of walking back in each other's footsteps now, as we've seen what AFG is checking on Mr. Head's side, and Mr. Head's doing AFG checks. We've seen already. Still missing quite a few dungeons entrance though.
Correct. There is one thought that I can think of, and that's there is the shield shop below, like basically the one shop that you really care about if you're playing Shop Sanity.
Yeah, it's curious as to the lack of Pearl and the lack of dungeon access right now. This is Graveyard Ledge, but I am guessing that at this point they'll have to go back to Turtle Rock, as logically speaking, that's what they have left. That's still in logic, right?
Correct. Now with said mirror, we could I guess I don't know. Depending on what we get, we have ways to we could just super bunny into stuff like this dam.
Yeah. They'll also be able to check K45. Long walk, but they'll be able to check that. I guess that Mr. Head's gonna go check the entrance to Tower of Hera.
Yeah, with the mirror that does check out, C-shaped house entrance check is Hera. Speaking of which,
ooh, that's the well. No, sorry, the waterfall ferry with the big key to Thieves Town, which is required if Thieves Town is independent.
yeah, it is one of those required big keys. So nice to have that information for Mr. Ed. We also find that the top of Zack Rock was found in the chess game, just 3 bombs, and we already know where the side entrance is. And the side entrance is in Spectacle Rock. So
Mr. Head's going into Skullwood without any fire source.
may have probably oh no, he's got a lamp. Yeah,
He's got the lamp. Okay.
yeah. Most of that got marked on the tracker. So, yeah. I mean, this is fine. This is out of logic. Yes. Looks like AFG is gonna join Mr. Ed and do this too. This bomb job's not hard.
No, and with 10 arts, this is not going to be as bad as well as when we first found this at 5 arts. So we should go fine. But we'll see a first crystal on the board from both racers at similar time. Which is interesting, they both chose to do this at this point.
It's there. It's there. It can at least it's something to do.
I would have probably elected to go check what's in Turtle Rock instead through the laser bridge.
Yeah, that's you're only getting like an item out of this because you've already done the item for the bridge. To answer your question,
They have 3 keys though. They can go far in Turtle Rock with 3 keys.
right. To answer a question from the chat, I don't. It's really hard to say if the Moon Pearl is required. If or the Moon Pearl could be on Moth. Well, we know it's not the case now, but considering the circumstances, it's really hard to say.
Well, they have no fire, so Moth is still not in logic.
Exactly. It's not in logic. So, for what it's worth, this Moon Pearl would have been out of logic in the first place.
Mystery Mire, small key, nice for routing, but not necessary. Yeah, so where is that Moon Pearl is the question. That's another shop in the mountain. And we found Misery Mire. Talking of which,
That's not bad. We did find out that the left Quarreling Brother entrance leads to the back of the spawn points for the dark for Death Mountain. So if AFG wanted to, you could check what the other side was.
that's fair. That's fair. It is something they can check for sure. But we're gonna see K45. Ooh, GT. And funny
Okay.
enough, this is in logic.
Yeah. So this is interesting because you could, if you wanted to, do another bomb jump that's similar to what we saw with Skull Woods, but it's like a lot more annoying and annoying to deal with because of one thing. Well, two things. First, it's the fireball shooter and the ball master.
That I hate that bomb jump. For GT, that one is just the worst.
Yeah, it's not the hardest bomb jump. It's just annoying. Like because you have to there's a lineup you can do for it, but it doesn't negate the fact that it's still stupid annoying.
Oh yeah, totally. But for now, we're in logic checks because Style Room is in logic. We'll see if AFG decides to go do that jump. I guess it is going to be a jump to check on the other side. Of course, having to kill all the enemies here first to set up a respawn point for the once you fall in the hole after the bump jump.
We found.
We'll go ahead.
Yeah, we found Turtle Rock's big in Mire, which is nice.
Ooh, that's pointing us out back to Turtle Rock again.
EFG had a little bit of trouble with that frozen hard hat beetle. At least thankfully, you still have a you have a magic reveal here, so it's not like it's like the worst thing.
Nope. We're about to see the worst thing.
This is the worst thing. Like this, like this bomb jump in particular is really annoying because you have to first time the fireball shooter, the fireball shooter, and then on top of that you have to deal with the wall master that's there, and you have to line up your bomb jump just right so that you can hit that you can reach the other side, and also get it in position too. And then even after that, you have to
Hurry up.
a time. You're on a time limit.
But it was pretty well done from AFG. The only thing you'd want at this point there is the fire shield, because that actually helps with the fire shooter.
Yeah, in that scenario, it's the best. That's the best thing you could really get from there.
Yep.
AFG wanting to play a little safe here, because down to a heart and a half, and does not want to die when trying to do compass room.
No, but doing fine so far. Ooh, Quake.
Now, medallions in this context, well, medallions here, in entrances only, they're not as useful. The only thing they really open up is the entrances for the medallion dungeons, and nothing else.
Yep, unless there's something hiding behind it, which can happen. But actually, bombos could be useful. They did find Ice Palace earlier, so finding bombos would be useful. In lieu of having to fire rod, at least.
Right. So here's AFG doing another annoying thing, and that's this firebar room.
It is AFG going to do Ice Armos with just a Master Sword?
Not now, because that's supposed to not now, because he just died. So that was that. Yeah, because that's the only reason he would, if he didn't die there, he probably would be heading over to Ice Armos. It would have been nice to have a cape or some invulnerability item, so that you can get through that room without having to do the more annoying portion of it. We did find Desert Big on the Sunken Treasure. So,
Desert Small, actually.
That's what I meant. Yeah, Desert Small. I misspoke and said Desert Big. Which is
And
convenient.
Very convenient. Talk about having the key under the carpet there.
Like, it's so close to the carpet, it's not even funny. We get Myers Big Key from it, though. So, wow, okay.
And that's gonna be good once he make his way to the mountain and find Meyer, which is on Death Mountain. That way you'll be able to check that big chest right away, instead of having to go back to it.
Okay, so there's another interesting thing, because there's the so we find the spiral cave bottom, which is on the Turtle Rock ledge. But it does open up two other entrances, that being Spiral and Mimic Caves entrances.
Yeah, I believe we've seen these checks from Mr. Head before, and that's when Mr. Head went to go check Death Mountain and found Meyer.
Right, and that also means the desert left has not been checked yet.
Oh, decide not to dive Meyer more. Interesting.
And it might be a hold off period to for on AFG's side to just check the surrounding area, and then go back in. Mr. had gone through this through it all the way before.
I guess save and quit after go diving Meyer would make sense.
Yeah, so doing the surrounding checks does that with the intention to go further into Meyer afterwards. So it's just a pain on a second call.
Now the question is, how far will we go into Meyer?
Yeah, that's a question that has to be answered here. So
Not useful. As we were seeing Mr. Head finding Tower Farah in Village of Outcast, we'll try to Super Bunny it. Yep. Oh, no, missed.
Yeah, it's easy to tell if you got it if you see your sprite move faster. Or another thing is you can use your sword as like indicator.
Yep. And that's gonna be the only check you can do in there. No big key. I mean, there's one more check that can be done, but there's no big key and no small key, so we cannot check the basement and we cannot go upstairs as we don't have hook shot to do aeropod.
Yeah, Mr. Ed actually wanted to check the lobby chest as well, so that meant redoing the Super Bunny again just to be able to get over, because mirroring resets your bunny state.
Is that? I wonder if that's actually faster than just walking back up.
I don't know. I think it might be slightly tiny even, but I don't know.
Ooh, and we find Spike Cave there. Alright, AFG, where are you going next? Are you going further in? I'm probably gonna be checking the lobby chest here first. Yeah.
That's a reasonable call.
It is. Stair extension? Yep.
So here's Mr. Ed finding GT as well. Alright.
One more. Oh no, AFG. AFG is gonna go forward.
This was probably just to see if there was a fairy or something to pick up.
Which I would want to get. He decided to skip the bridge chest though. Oh, turn around. So he missed that. That and then decide what. I'm not sure what's happening now.
This might be some indecisiveness between from AFG's side.
Seems to be. He's finally gonna go get that bridge chest. Yep. It's understandable. You don't want to leave a check in a dungeon as well, especially if you're gonna full clear it. Ooh, a bow in Iroll Castle.
Oh, okay. So that is something to point out, and that does mean, well, once we don't have Eastern Big yet, but that can lead to an Armos clear once we have that Eastern Big.
In a bottle. Or first bottle. But it would have been useful for AFG with Meyer because Cold Stare. No, I'm sorry, not Cold Stare, but I have a blank right now. That's bad.
Yeah, it's It's weird. But for right now, we said we'll take a look at sold the cell. It's a biggie 4 pod. Interesting. As it's
Okay, Vitreous. That's what I was looking for. See, blank. The
yeah,
bow for VD would have been useful.
yeah. That would be nice because here we have to deal with having to fight with just a sword and nothing else.
Yeah, no cape. That's actually the big thing. There's no cape to help with that, and Master Sword is fairly slow on Vidi.
Yeah, this is so the only way you're gonna do this to get around it is by just doing what he's doing. He's just gonna use a bunch of bombs and then just soften them up, and then use the tempered sword, the master sword spins to help, and just to help you get more damage out.
Ooh, still got clipped by that lightning there. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, because that lightning is completely random.
And now the AFG has no bombs, so we are gonna go see a lot of spins.
Yeah. Us while being mindful of the fact that there's still bombs to you have to be mindful of the HP and the lightning attacks.
And the Swamp Palace entrance is actually Mimic Cave.
Okay, not bad.
This is the dangerous part. 2.5 art and the big eye running after you.
Yeah, it's in this situation where you just have to if he gets ever close to you, you just gotta start running, and then to get back into a better position, or at least if the eye gets out of the little corner that you're in.
There we go.
That's it.
VD is down. Let's see if it's a pendant or a crystal. It's a crystal. Also, Marsh. Yes, go ahead.
He's too big on the potion shop.
I was about to say, Mushroom Azor is turned big. That's a clear with the bow for Mista Head there. We know where Eastern is, so that's great.
It's just a float over to 4 and just run up to the castle. It's right there.
And AFG is about to find out that big key. However, AFG still doesn't have that bow because AFG hasn't found Iroh Castle front yet.
Here's AFG getting that Easter big.
Is he gonna go to Eastern without a bow? Okay, he's not.
Yeah, that's a good call. Oh, Fire Rod's
Fire
there too.
Rod. That's a good find.
There's also a Turtle Rock clear in the cards.
Yes, yes, there is.
Because we know of Laser Bridge, so, and that's a sign that maybe Mr. Ed could go down there, but it's on a Master Sword Shrine X flight, which doesn't feel good. And here's AFG, on the way to get the Fire Rod, but with no bow. This clear is impossible.
Nope. So that's gonna be a third dip for AFG once the bow has been found. Of course, Eastern could still be a pendant. We still don't know where the third pendant is. So it's possible that clear is not necessary, but Armos as a knight, as something for sure. So who knows what it is? We're about to find out.
Just missed the quick kill of just 20 rupees, and it is a crystal.
Alright, so Eastern is solely required.
Yeah, and that's where it gets a little concerning. Well, I guess not concerning, but like the point I'm trying to make is here without the bow, he's leaving a crystal on the board, like on the table, and just is like, oh, this probably isn't. This might come to hurt me if this is a crystal.
Stick check. It's a small key. 2 GT. Well, there's a required small key. We're good to go. But yeah, you're right. That Eastern third dip is gonna hurt. It still doesn't know it's a crystal though. So for now, he's not aware of it. But that's gonna be a problem later on.
Exactly, yeah. So here's Mr. Ed heading into Desert Palace again. This will give them the Mire Big, but this also could lead him to Desert Left if he wanted to go down there. But he has other plans. It seems like it's just going back to the mirror portal that was laid down. Here's Biggie for Thieves Town for AFG.
We've Mr. Head's gonna give us a new check, which is the bomb shop check. I don't think we've seen this from AFG yet.
We did.
We did.
We did. It was a connector to something. It was from a connector.
All right, I missed that. I must have been watching Mr. Head do something while that was happening. But Mr. Head's gonna go back to GT with that fire rod. Make it easier for the right side.
Yeah, and this makes sense here. So this could also lead Mr. Ed to finish Ice Armos, but here's AFG checking out Ice Rod Cave using the Super Bunny. We get a temper star out of it.
Oh god, this is not something what I want to see to find after doing Mire on Master Sword.
Yeah, it's one thing you probably wanted to have. It would have been nice to have it, but here we are. So the other side of the Death Mountain Star is just the right desert's exit. So, but looks like AFG wants to do that. May want to do that clear of Turtle Rock, which that's fair.
I mean, with temper, that makes sense.
Yeah,
a lot more than Master Sword, at least.
Yeah, it's a Master Sword, or it's a Tempered Sword fight. So this makes going through this a lot easier.
And Mr. Head doing Ice Armos with a bow also makes a lot more sense.
And this after the clear is done, this gives information about the front of Turtle Rock.
Alright, new information Mr. Head side, new information AFG side. We're about to see what Tyrannix drops and if it's a crystal or a pendant. And AFG, Mr. Head, sorry, should be making his way toward their way toward Ice Armos here. So we'll see Bob Chest too.
Oh wow, hammer on Shrine X.
The hammer? Wow.
Ooh, wow, okay.
That's...
So go ahead.
I mean, that's an amazing find, but that's also an annoying find.
And And it looks like the front of Turtle Rock is by the thief, one of the thief rupee drop caves. So it must have had a little bit of trouble, like with AFG, in regards to the that room with the 2 fire bars. So it chose to play a little bit more safer. But so this is information that AFG had left on the table because of the death that he took.
Well, Bub's just nothing. So that's kind of good. But 3 checks behind Ice Armors. We don't have the GT big key, so the big chest is not gonna get checked. Which could be something important.
Oh hey, comes for Turtle Rock.
It always makes me laugh when I see something for a dungeon within its dungeon. The second castle tower key. And the big key to GT in GT, almost vanilla. That's crazy.
Oh wow. That's a climb. That's a climb up GT.
It looks like it. A Master Sword, though.
Well, with 12 hearts, that's not problematic.
They do have the Fire Rod as well, so that helps.
Oh
Moon
wow,
Pearl.
Moon Pearl! Oh, that's really
So it's totally required.
Yeah. Oh, that's horrible for news
So
for EFG.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's horrible news for EFG. I guess. Well, with the hammer picked up, you can get over to the you can get back over to that big chest in GT through the left side, so you don't have to do that whole right side debacle. But that's really hurt. That is a pretty bad punish on AFG.
It's wow. That's the last place I was expecting that Moon Pearl to be.
Yeah, it was in logic though. So yeah.
And we find a red mail on AFG side. Going to help with the Ice Armos without a bow.
And that Ice Armos is going to be necessary because of that GT big key location.
Yeah, and what a place for that big key location too. It's not something you expect finding there as you go in. Oh god. Nice use of the upgrade fairy there to refill arrows and bombs.
Yeah, and that's what the really scary part. Like that's the really unfortunate part, because AFG had the intention to go over to that right side and do Ice Armos, but having those problems with the double firebar room resulted in a death and choosing to leave it out. Now it's a question. Now it becomes the question of when does he go back?
Yes, and Misted's about to find the armor there, which is gonna give Misted an even bigger advantage in this race, because with that Moon Pearl and the armor, there's a lot more places he's gonna be able to complete, including Ice Palace, which we know the location of. And we do have everything we need to complete Ice Palace.
Do we? Do we not have a glove?
Oh. Well, oh, right, you're right. We do need a glove to get 2 golds there. You're right.
Yeah, to pull up the rock. Yeah.
That's one easy to forget. But, I mean, you can check a lot of other things in Ice Palace in the meantime, though.
Yeah, that's not gonna hold off, that's not gonna hold off, Mr. Ed from checking all but one chest. Or all but one item check.
He does have a small key as well for Ice Palace, so routing would be easier. But there we go. Hammer found for Mr. Head. Probably will make his way to the front of TR just to do the other checks. I mean, it's not a problem with the keys they have, as we saw on AFG side. AFG back on the mountain. We'll check out the other entrances here, which we haven't seen yet. Oh, I guess Mr. Head decides not to check the rest of TR.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Well, we didn't find anything of interest in the rest of TR, of course, but that's still a check. Several checks you're leaving behind while you're just there. And we found blind spot here on the mountain.
Always a nice sight to see.
GT small, powder, 50 rupees, big key to desert, which is good. Once we find the back of desert in the cape.
Something that AFG kind of wished he had for that right side.
That cape and temper for Meyer is something I'm pretty sure you wanted to see before now.
That too. Like that's one of those ones.
Mr. Head, meanwhile, is back in Meyer. Probably set to go to do Vidi. Does have a bow, which will make things much easier. 40 arrows as well is a lot of arrows.
Yeah, you've got this is all just gearing up to do this Master Sword fight without the cape. So this does help him. It's gonna help him because that means he can pop out more arrows the fight.
Yep.
And also throw out more bombs too.
Yeah. But with 40 arrows, that's actually is that? No, it's not close to enough to be able to do 50 without using anything else, but that's still a big chunk of the damage done right there.
Yeah, it's good enough to have just to have something to use in your arsenal. Here's AFJ doing the magic bat check.
Yes, just found the powder, so it's a good time to do it. Still looking for that moon pearl, which now we know where it is, but that's what AFG is looking for. It's wonder when he'll go back to GT. I know we found a bow in the front of Iroh Castle. I do not remember where the front of Iroh Castle was.
Oh, I'm blanking on what entrance would have that had been.
I'm pretty sure it was a Dark World entrance, because I think Mr. Head was in the Dark World when he found that.
So I don't know.
As we see Mr. Head finishing Vidi with 5 arrows left and just using 1 bomb. Pretty good fight, considering.
Yeah, it's still maintaining that advantage that Mr. Ed had found just from GT. This also means we do have a hype cape check on the board. There's Mr. Ed's information about the pendant and pod.
Yeah, which we knew already from AFG side. Bumbles has been found. Small key to pod as well. That would make it what, our third or fourth small key? Third, I guess.
The fourth one, I believe.
Fourth one.
Yeah, and this also means that it is logically required. So, again, but I don't think it really matters. In Crosskeys.
There's our Our blind shot. With the small key to Ganon's Tower, the powder, and the big key to desert. And see, in average AFG is actually dipping into Ice Palace.
So this is fine because it does lead you. You can get every item except for Cold Stare. So that is a reasonable play to make. And you also have a Samaria, so that means, well, we are doing an Icebreaker.
We're in a small key to help with the routing, but as we know, we're not doing Cold Stare, then we won't activate that switch because that's not necessary. But they don't have the big key, so no big chest, and there's another small chest they won't be able to do because of no glove. So.
Correct. Yeah, it's all except for 2.
Yeah, this one here. The big chest and Cold Stare.
I'm surprised CFG didn't bother to check that chest, the H ramp.
Can't need the glove.
Oh right, the glove. Duh. Yeah. Right. Now I'm forgetting about the glove.
That's okay. I did the same earlier.
That's why I'm saying now I'm forgetting about it. So that's 3.
Yep. 3. So going to head to Ice Tea Room and then gonna bail out. While we see Mist ahead in the Dark World, taking full advantage of that Moon Pearl. Ooh,
There's
a glove! Oh, hey! Ice Palace was the play!
Oh wow, yeah. we were saying something about the not having access to the glove. Now we have access. Answer question. Chat Moon Pearl was in the GT big chest
with the big key just to the right of the vanilla big key location.
So what we know now is we will have to do another mirror because we went in with the intention of not coming out.
Oh no. Wait, why is he leaving?
Probably not enough magic to do fire rod, to go and do fire rod. I just go for the fire rod method, and also with now he could, if he got hearts, he could use the trick where you throw a fire rod and then just do a sword beam slash to cut down on magic consumption because it counts as another hit. But he's a half heart short, so
but it's fine in the end. He's going to GT, which is what he wants to do.
Yeah, Mr. Head continuing to have troubles with hovering because he wants to hover this hookshot cave, but keeps having a lot of trouble. But this one's starting to look a lot better. Oh, I'm just barely missing it.
How many times do you try to hover before it's a loss of time?
I would say around like 2 or 3.
Right.
And especially considering I had tried to do one last hover after getting it almost correctly. That's the sign where that's where I need to bail out. I don't want to bother with this anymore. It's time for me to go move on to greener pastures.
I agree. And it's not on logic anyway right now. So, yes, you might find a key, but might as well just find your hookshot, which you'll probably need anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. Mr. Ed's gonna go ahead and take a look at what's at the graveyard ledge. Just 10 arrows.
AFG without a bow heading toward Ice Armos. So it's gonna be Temper Sword, Ice Armos. It's gonna take some time. But it's gonna be done, and that's gonna lead to the Moon Pearl, which he really, really wants to find. I wonder if he's gonna go and do left side GT after, and get the items on the left side now that he has the hammer. I mean, it's not in logic because he's gonna have to do bump jumps to reach further in, but still could do it.
So Missad has found another connector, and this that connector leads to Pyramid Fairy. So no, we don't care about Pyramid Fairy anymore. We will probably, if we find the bomb jump, we will peek at it just to get an idea of what the remaining 5-6 crystals are.
It's a good way to know which dungeons are crystals as well. Well, talking of 5-6 crystals, he has one.
Yep. Which shouldn't matter in this context because we already know because we're not only in. Okay, so we actually. Oh wow. Thieves' Town Misery Mire. So that Mire clear that we saw earlier was actually a 5-6. So here's that big key for the dungeon.
Don't mirror. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't. I don't. If he mirrors, I'm gonna be so sad.
Thankfully, he did not mirror. That would have been bad.
Yeah, and yeah, and in this, you don't wanna mirror, and you have to spend more time heading to the left side, and that's not what we want to deal with. But here comes that Moon Pearl. It's like, oh man, had I gone through that right side without a problem, I would have had this a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and now you believe you're behind because that Moon Pearl was available.
Right, and that's the tricky thing. So here's a bomb jump that's somewhat annoying, but it's not like it's necessary. You can bonk across just fine. And
Another
find, yep, another pot small.
Well,
And
that's
there's the
all
other pot
6.
small. So we found both of our pot smalls in just like that.
All 6 pods smalls have been found. Oh, decide not to go further in. I'm surprised. I mean, crossing the rest of it is just bunks, and then you have another easy check there.
I don't think it's I don't feel like that's the right call, but who knows? Maybe AFG knows something that we don't. Just maybe has a bit of a better insight than what we have. So, I don't know. But we did find the back of Desert Palace on Miss Ed's side.
And that's clearable. We're gonna get that green pendant. And we know where to turn it in, too. Which is great. We're seeing Spike Cave on AFG side. And, yep, might want to use that cape now. Before you die. But, safe and sound for green goo. So that's the second bottle.
And we won't say no to another bottle, so that's for sure.
I agree. And green goo is always useful, so that's a good find. Should be a very quick Lenmola. Wonder if Fire Rod Strat. While we find that other small key pod, which we knew already. Um, while we are watching, well, Mr. Head's now the dilemma for an art container and the green pendant. Here is Mimic Cave on AFG side.
Nothing else. So here's a Hype Cave entrance for AFG, whereas Mr. Ed is going to take a look at the pod entrance.
It'd be funny if pod entrance is vanilla.
If it is, I'm just gonna like casually walk out of my room, just make myself some better.
Close.
Close enough. It's Dark Saha.
But I'm glad I didn't jinx that. Wait for it. Yeah.
Wait a minute. If they're swapped. Oh, okay.
Your Zyro Castle other entrance.
Well, there you go. The Dark Link's House Bombs, Bonk Rocks are just a gamble game.
Yeah, so Iroh Castle was Bump Shop. That's why. So now AFG is about to get the bow. Yeah. They keep inverting where things are going. So let's take a look. What do we need still? We need some entrances, for sure. Where we haven't seen Pod, we haven't seen Swamp, we haven't seen Thieves Town, right?
We have not seen Thieves Town, no. We have not seen Pod.
We need... Technically, we're good with big keys. I mean, Tower Farah big key would be nice, but it's if they find the Oakshot before then it's not necessary. We need the Oakshot for possibly needing the Oakshot. Well, yeah, possibly needing the Oakshot for Swamp. Is that it?
That does check out. Because we have, we do have all of our necessary big keys. We have our pod, we just saw AFG get the pod big. We already have Thieves Town big, we have Meyer, Turok big, Eastern big, and that's it. That would mean Hookshot may be necessary for Swamp. Yeah, that checks out. So here's Mr. Ed going back into GT, maybe doing the full left side that ends at Rando Room.
He's at 2 key for GT now, so that could make sense. Finding that last spot small as well. Probably starting to wonder where Pod is, considering what they just found. Because yeah, it really has everything saved. Yeah, no, he has the hammer, so he has everything to like clear Pod now. But Pod is a pendant, which he knows.
here's AFG about to head into Desert back. That will be the green panda pickup for AFG. There's another bomb jump for Mr. Head. This is out of logic. But again, this doesn't matter because we're playing Crosskeys.
And the red room will complete the basement checks for GT. And this is just going to be the climb.
This is a choice that Mr. Ed can do, and this gives 4 items that's at the top. And if Mr. Ed wants to, he can kill Aga 2 for the thief drop down item. But it's gonna stop at the book pickup in the room. So go mode just to give an definition of what go mode means. This means go mode refers to you having all the items necessary to complete the game. So, but going by that logic to answer the question in the chat, you need to get all the items that are necessary to get all 7 crystals and enough to kill Ganon.
Which in our case, we still do not know exactly what is needed to complete 7 crystals, because we do not know what our 7 crystals is yet. The only thing left, though, item-wise, that they would need is the hookshot, which is needed to be able to complete Swamp Palace. But they have all the keys they would need to complete all the dungeons, so we're just really looking for that hookshot, and then we're needing entrances. We're missing Swamp and Thief Stands at least, since Pod is confirmed to be a pendant.
Right.
Pod is a pendant, yes.
Yeah, and this is something I think after the tracker, as I don't know if Mr. Ed did see that already, but if Mr. Ed hasn't seen the fact that this is
To answer your chat, yes, it hookshot could be the chest just before Moldorm 2. However, I believe that now Mr. Head is lacking a small key to finish that climb, which is why he didn't go up. Because he used the 2 small keys to clear up the basement, which makes sense. It's a lot of checks.
Yeah, and that's with no small keys. That means you can only get up to the pre-Moldorm chest, and that's it. But here's Pod on Mr. Ed's side. This is on Graveyard Lich.
Technically speaking, though, that's all he needs to do, unless you expect a glove to be on there. Because, I mean, if we think about it, well, there's a glove in Pod, and the other one is on Ice Palace, so that's Mitz, but Mitz is not necessary, unless something's hidden behind, an entrance is hidden behind. But back to the GT climb, so we know the hookshot cannot be past Moldorm 2, so that means it cannot be under the pyramid, which is the Thieves' Hideout. And then it cannot be in the chest after Moldorm 2, because then it would be out of logic.
Yeah, in both instances, they would be out of logic and inaccessible.
Yeah, so you could have done that climb.
Yeah, if I was in the runner's shoes in this, that would have been the play to make, like, for me, because that would at least for sure that would at least because for me, I don't care about hookshot here. I don't care about any hookshot here. The only is if we need hookshot, we only need hookshot for one thing, and that's just Moldorm 2. Well, 2 things: Moldorm chest and Thief Chop Down. Well, I guess you hover or boulder and bounce, that's one way you can get it. But hookshot is gonna be is necessary no matter what.
Yeah, but we know that there's not gonna be nothing there.
Right.
So that's why I'm questioning why Mr. Head decided not to go to the climb.
Yeah, like that was kind of where the crutch was. Crutch was. It's like I don't care about hookshot in that scenario. Just knowing I can't access it. Just
Yeah.
those three checks. Those 3 checks are enough.
Well, I hope that the hookshot is not pre-Moldorm chest or the Almazor room, because that's gonna suck. Because he'll have to go back up.
Yeah, that alone means that you're banking on a GT small being in GT, and that is a relatively low chance for it to show up in Key Sanity.
But you don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to, but it's there.
I mean, Moldorm 2 is not required because you don't need to go kill Aga 2.
Right, but you could kill Aga 2 for the thief drop down if that's what you're wanting to do.
But you won't find anything useful there.
Okay, I'm blanking now.
Well, we're a hookshot from Go mode.
Oh, oh my god. I didn't pick up on that for some reason. I don't know why I decided not to pick up on it.
Yeah, we're a hookshot from Go mode, and that's only Swamp is a crystal, which we don't know. So we might not even need hookshot.
My brain is groaning right now because I'm talking about this hookshot, and then I'm realizing, oh wait a minute, hookshot's go mode, right, Ren? Get it together.
It's all right. It's all right. That's why I was like, so why not doing the climb? Because like you don't need hookshot actually for the climb.
To answer your question, technically yes, but like it's just Crosskeys. It for what it's worth is a fast cannon. Like it has a fast cannon requirement. In that since you don't have to climb GT to kill Aga 2 for GT. Oh wow, Hera's big key is on the green pendant. Oh jeez.
Even more reason to say that hookshot is your go mode now.
Yeah. That also it's gonna depend on if Ice and Hera, I think Ice and Hera are crystals if the hookshot's not required.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the hookshot would have been required if that big key was behind that hookshot, of course.
Right. Yeah.
But in this
Logically.
case, yeah. I mean, no, because the small key for Era cannot lock the hookshot if it's not accessible without the hookshot. So
We're
yeah,
getting so confused about logic. It's not even funny here.
so we're clear. Hookshot is our go mode.
Yes. Hookshots are gold. Never talk about like hooks like Crosskeys logic ever again, please, Ren. Because you don't know anything about Crosskeys logic, and it's already confusing as it is. Just do stuff out of logic. That's all it is. The only logic you care about is Boom Pearl. Oh man.
That said, AFG is bound to find that big key to Era because there's no reason you wouldn't go to Sisa and turn it in. Which is a good news, because that makes it another dungeon you can clear. There goes the pod and the mitts. So, knowing that you're missing Hookshot, do you full clear pod?
Do I full clear pod? With it being a red pendant? If it would be a regular pendant there?
Yep.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's like here's one of the questions that like it's one of those questions where in pendant pod, like in general, if you go, it's a really tough question to answer, if like definitively yes or no, in my opinion. The reason if you would probably clear pendant pod is to try to get as much items out, because it's 14 items out of there. So, but that also takes time.
And that's
pod is not a quick dungeon.
But it's also very out of the way because it's Graveyard Ledge. So do you isolate Almazor and like really isolate Almazor? Because I swear you don't go back there until it's your last check. It's so out of the way to go back to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pod. I'm saying no. I'm not gonna full clear this because knowing that it's out of the way and in Graveyard Ledge. If that's the case, and because of that, that means let me try again. That means if I'm just, it's gonna be a last location if Pendant Pod was in fact the answer, and it's out of the way. So, yeah, I'd rather just skip it and hope to God it doesn't lead to something.
All right. Well, we'll see what the AFGs decide to do, but we are seeing Mr. Head doing Tower of Pharaoh with that conveniently big key on Sus.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's still Mr. Head got spread zeroed there.
That was a nice bug net there.
Yeah, that's nice and all. It's a safety, not pertinent to our go mode.
I mean, they don't need the safety. 3 bottles, 14 arts now, red mail. The only thing Mr. Head wants to find is another sword. That's the thing too. Mr. Head still hasn't found Temper.
Yeah, he's going into this. If we do enter Go mode, this is going to be a Master Sword Silverless fights ahead of Mr. Head. We will take half magic though. It is a crystal.
All right, one more crystal. Still don't know where that last pendant is, but it's between Ice Palace and Swamp now. So our Hookshot is 50-50 on being necessary.
Oh, there's Spiral Cave. One of those caves where you really have to say, "I'm coming back." Hold that thought.
Yes.
You want to check everything before heading back to Spiral. Like heading over to Spiral Cave. It's does he have okay, no, I was gonna say he shouldn't have mitts here. This is a magic bet check.
Yep. Again though, you're looking for entrance and you're looking to know if you need that Hookshot. So Spiral Cave might not be the most useful check you can do right now.
Right.
We still haven't found that Thieves Town in that swamp entrance. They're still missing. What do we have left? I guess we have Back of Skull entrance to check. We have Ice Palace entrance. Because I don't think we've come out of either of those. Well, talking of Back of Skullwood, I believe AFG is going that way. We have Turtle Rock entrance that's not been checked. We haven't gone to the Mire side of things either, have we? Have they not found a single connector to go to the Mire area?
No.
That's surprising.
Yeah, none of the connectors that, at least none of the connectors that we know of, had led to Mire.
I'm surprised. Usually you find at least one connector that leads there. So is this could be our required flute and mitts to get to the Mire area and maybe find one of our last dungeons? Not that it's gonna matter much. Mr. Head's about to find those mitts, but I'm actually surprised. I don't see a lot of Crosskeys that have mitts already required. Well, Crystal Joy, to answer you, Mirror Shield could be close, but could be very far as well. It depends if they find that hook shot or not before they find the other dungeons, because that's going to be go mode on every other dungeons after that. Whatever the case is for whatever swamp is. So unless the Mirror Shield is on the boss, then that's not gonna matter. Also, Ice Palace big in Ice Palace. Almost vanilla. That's 2 now.
Alright, so in Mr. Ed's case, he's hoping that this is just Ice Palace is a crystal, because that will bypass hookshot from, even though yes, it's required. There's mitts.
Yeah, if he finds if this is a crystal, hookshot is no longer required.
Yeah, if it is a crystal, then yes, while it is logically required that hookshot, we don't need it. We don't need to pick it up. There's a crystal for AFG.
Well, here's a shovel. From that big key we just found in Ice Palace. Ice is a pendant, so swamp is required, and that means we need a hookshot.
Yeah, so Mr. Ted won't know about this, but he's gonna be in for a rude awakening once finishes up with Cold Stare.
Did we get a bed check?
No.
Hookshot on bed?
Let's check out. That would mean you'd need to kill Helma, but whatever. It would have also. I don't know if logically you could have gotten that hook shot from Cold Stare. I mean, it doesn't, or isn't. If it's key sanity, it is key sanity. Nothing's stopping it from showing up there. Thing. It's a
I
dungeon.
well, the big key was in the H room for Ice Palace.
Right.
So logically speaking, I think you do need the hookshot at that point because of where the big key is.
I think. I think that might have. I think that it just applies to just like normal modes. But if it does apply to Key Sandy, then there's something. There's something new I learned.
Then Ped is dead. Yeah. We don't know
Right.
what's on Ped.
Yeah.
So a useless fairy in the Mire area. What is the actual Mire entrance?
So we know we haven't seen Swamp yet, if I'm not mistaken.
Swamp and Thieves Town.
Well,
Mire Shed.
funny. They swap places. Mire and Thieves, Swamp and Thieves. Yeah, that's correct. Well, there's Swamp. speaking of which.
Yes. Hi, Swamp. Hi, Last Crystal. Because we know now that Swamp is our last crystal.
Yes.
Now, is the hookshot in Swamp?
If it is, then we're in good shape. And then it's now and it's just go and find Thieves Town mode.
Yes. Elusive Thieves Town. So, my area is a bust so far. Let's see what's under under checkerboard entrance. Pyramid Fairy. Okay. So we're really only Thieves Town away from being in go mode. And the hookshot. So let's not forget about the hookshot. Yeah. Mr. Head found the third key to GT, but not useful. No, none of the tablets were checked because that book was not in the. It was on the left side of GT, which is hookshot locked. It's not. The book is not in logic.
Yeah, the rando room. It was in the random, which is a hookshot locked thing.
So it cannot lock the hookshot.
Here's an ice palace entrance check.
Thieves Town? Nope.
Aquinas though, so that's not bad. Nothing of note though.
And Swamp has been a bust so far.
Yeah, we need to find this hookshot eventually, and then we also had to find Thieves Town.
Which entrance do we have left now? Is that just Turtle Rock?
I think. For what it's because knowing that Thieves Town is a crystal, that means GT can't lock the Thieves Town entrance, or at least
No.
lock Thieves Town the dungeon.
So does that leave us just with Turtle Rock entrance for that Thieves Town? I think so. Trying to remember if there's anything else we haven't checked, and I am coming with a blank there. So we've checked everything, I think.
I think we've checked everything. I don't know though. I feel like we have checked everything, but it feels like we haven't checked everything. At least, but it feels like there might be something that's missing.
Yes. There are Wait, did Mr. Head at gloves when he went to Dark Mall? Dark Mall? Because the Dark Mall rock would not have been liftable without the glove, so that might be entrance we haven't checked yet.
I think we saw Dark Maul, but again, it's been my brain's already so fried right now that I don't know a whole. I can't really. It's really hard to kind of think.
I don't blame you. It's been an hour and 54 minutes already, and we're still missing an entrance, so
yeah,
not blaming you on that one. We're about to
So-
see what Turtle Rock is hiding, though. Not T-Sound, so we are missing something.
So it might be the Dark Shopping Mall. I don't know. There is Super Bunny, or at least I think Hookshot Cave and entrance in Super Bunny. Well,
There
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah. There was. It had to been on Dark Dead Mountain somewhere.
Well,
So-
AFG is checking that T fell, so that's there under this rock. And that wasn't checked by Mr. Head, I'm pretty sure. There's the silver.
So that at least eliminates Master Sword Silverless.
Big sigh of relief for Mr. Head.
See, this is the thing about Crosskeys is that like there's a lot of things that take in, and it takes a good it can on the times can range quite a bit. There's not a specific like time frame that like there's not a specific time frame as to like when they start because you can have a cross key seed that's just over in under 2 hours, or it could go past 3 hours. So that's how volatile this mode is.
Well, we're officially a hookshot from no mode because neither runner right now have found the last entrance they're missing. Mr. Head's missing the entrance to Swamp, and AFG is missing the entrance to Thievestown. But we haven't found that hookshot either, and we're running out of checks.
Yeah, it's gonna have to it's
Pendant
gonna have
pod.
if the hook shot is there, then well, if the hook shot is here in Thievestown, then there you go. That helps. I mean,
Sorry, Mr. Head did find a small key to Tower of Hera, by the way.
Hera basements.
Yep. There's still Elmazor in pod. And
Shovel wasn't
technically,
checked.
Shovel. And technically, if we find a small key to Thievestown, there's going to be the big chest in Thievestown, too.
Yes, and yeah, a lot of these spots are just bad.
Yep.
Like really, really bad.
Yes, thanks to our tracker, Lady Lauralinda, for reminding us about the shovel not being checked. This could be pretty important check. As we're heading toward the last few checks in the seed. There goes the map to Thievestown.
Which we knew what the crystal what the requirement the prize is, so didn't have to worry about that too much.
We're about to see a blind fight and then discover if that's the answer to what we're missing. There he goes, blind is down. And it's a piece of art.
Yeah, gives out a heart piece that is crystal number 6 for Mr. Ed. Now you're looking for a hook shot, and on Mr. Ed's case, it's hook shot and then go and find swamp mode.
Oh god. Where is that hookshot? Okay, Mr. Head Mr. Head is looking for Swamp. If you're wondering why he's checking entrances, he still doesn't know that Swamp is in the desert area, so still looking for that.
Yeah, once it gets a Rinsey Flute Silver to 6, it's not too far. It's not too far. It's not too bad until it won't be too hard to find, to be honest.
No. Probably I think for the back of Skullwood, hasn't done that entrance yet, which makes sense. Want to check as many entrances as possible. Still looking for that hookshot. Might take a look at Ped in the meantime. We're unclear if Ped is dead or not because of logic related to the Big Key of Ice Palace. The Big Key of Ice was in the H room, which technically speaking requires the hookshot to access in normal logic. But this is Crosskey, and Crosskey logic is a little bit weird. So, unknown. But we are getting a pet check.
Yeah,
We're about to get our answer.
So this will
Oh, no, we're not.
Are we not doing that? Does Mr. Ed know it's not Ped? Like he just kind of deduced it's not Ped? The H room, as in the one with the one with the hammer and hammer peg and the big switch.
Yeah, it's the room just before the vanilla Big Key room. So the Big Key room, which without Samaria, you would need to go through the H room to access to. And where the big skeleton is. No, in Ice Palace. So like the big key to Ice Palace was in Ice Palace, almost vanilla. The room just before. And that is shut lock usually. Well, you have spikes to go through to go up the stairs to get to that room, so I believe it's hookshot lock. Because you're not supposed to take damage going through something. So you're supposed to hookshot across the room through the skull, so you can go up the stairs, use the hammer on the pegs, lift the rock, pull the tongue, and then go through up another set of stairs to get the big key, which it's the normal Ice Palace way of doing things.
Actually, I made a mistake when I said about Swamp. It was in Hammer Peg. So there's Mr. Ed finding Swamp. So now he's looking for hookshot.
Oh, it was Hammer Peg. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, he's gonna be disappointed. There's no hookshot in Swamp. And we're seeing AFG doing Thief Town. So Thief Town is not the answer as well for hookshot.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I don't know if I still don't think hookshot that it's hookshot lock, even though it was like coincidental that it showed up in a spot that would have been hookshot locked. But again, I don't know. Entrance logic is a whole can of worms that we would need someone in the chat to, that's knowledgeable about entrance logic to kind of clarify that.
That's a good point, though. Does the cape or Cane of Berna count toward that? Or does it still consider it to be hookshot lock? Huh. Well, when we find the answer, we will let you know. For now, though.
We're dwelling on this way too much. We know, so Mr. Ed will find out that this won't be anything. And AFG will be heading to Thieves Town to head for blinds, and this will lead to his 6th crystal.
Yeah, I would imagine he goes back to Ice Palace. He has 3 checks there. For AFG, I mean, because we left after finding the gloves and then didn't go back in for the H room check, which is the Ice Palace big key, which would give him another check there plus Cold Stare, even though it's a pendant. But at this point, you're looking for an item, so you have to start cleaning up somewhere. And then, of course, we still have Elmazorid Pod. That could be the answer too. But that one is so out of the way.
Right, yeah, I don't know.
So Mr. Head is done with Ice. Only has Pod left after Swamp. For dungeons to clear. And then there's really not a lot left, even in the overwall checks and the other entrances, because they've found so many things so far. AFG, where are you going next? Fluting? Back to desert? Guess checking the big chest there? That's something left, right?
Big chest, yeah, that does sound right. And we already saw what the torch was, I believe, which was nothing. So we are getting a big chest check of a Desert Palace, which something, to be fair, it's just away for quite a while. Nope, just a rock map.
For those just joining us, we are a hookshot away from completing this seed. But both runners now have silvers. We have AFG on Temper, but Mr. Head is still on Master Sword. Mr. Head's still missing that Temper. And we don't know where that hookshot is. It's the big mystery right now.
Yeah, even this on the surface level, it may if you never really if you've never done Crosskeys before, on the surface, 2 hours. To some people, it might look like a really bad seed, but no, this is just par for the course. It's not uncommon for Crosskeys races to go and it could be around the 2-hour range.
To be fair, though, to be just one item away from being able to finish is not that bad.
Yeah, it for what it's worth, like this, it is nice that we're only one away from go mode and we're only about like 2 hours in. So, for those who would god route it, it would be under 2 hours, but of course we don't know. We only have these 2 runners on the screen here. We get out of a pool, out of a big community race. We have only chosen 2 for this 2 runners from the race room. There's Hookshot in Hera basement. Oh, that is not nice.
No, definitely not nice, but it is go mode, and right next to Swamp too, because we're in the village of Outcasts and Swamp is an Ammerpeg. That's very convenient, but disgusting.
Yeah, that's just not a nice spot. I'm sorry, just not a nice spot. This Tempered Sword for Mr. Head.
But hey, it's go mode at least.
Yeah, and nice thing about it too is that it's Swamp Palace. You could just mirror, and then you could just run over to Ganon. Like that's the nice thing about it.
Yes, because Ganon is is at Sanctuary. So yes. Ganon being at Sanctuary is really, really close.
So yeah, and as chat's pointing out of it, knowing AFG, annoying AFG a lot. That Terra Basement having go mode doesn't make it feel happy because Terra Basement is not his favorite.
At least he's done that before he went back into Ice Palace or Elmazor.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough feeling, really.
Oh, there's Dark Shopping Mall. I guess we did see that because the AFG did do bumper cave.
Yes, that does check out to be correct.
Yes, he actually just found it. Not the last location though.
Yeah,
Which is good.
at least it wasn't the last locates, but moreover, this is AFG's 7th final crystal, and just all he needs to do now is just to run over to Ganon and just pay him a visit and get some breakfast.
Yes, and it's gonna be a quick fight with Temper and Silvers. A very easy fight too. They're pretty well decked for Ganon. Half magic too as well. Where do you go next, Mr. Head?
So yeah, now it's AFG is off to Ganon with red mail, 16 hearts, tempered sword silvers. This is very comfortable for Ganon. For the very comfortable Ganon fight. This will not be a problem for him.
As 4 bottles as well. Probably still a potion in there. I'm not sure if he ever went to get something else. But it's not like he's gonna need them. Well, Mr. Head heads to Era Basement next. It looks that way.
Flew into 3. This might be a Hera Basement play. So if he chooses to go down there, Mr. Ed will be in prime position to just to finish this out.
It's looking more and more like he's heading toward Eras.
Yeah, there. Oh, no, yep.
Nope.
Another check to do.
Well, never mind.
Where does he want to go? Arrow game. Spike Cave. Okay.
And put your GGs in chat for AFG, who's finishing right now.
Yeah. Official time is going to come up as soon as he crosses the bridge. I will say AFG will finish first on the restream with an official restime.gg time of 2:13:02, finishing 3rd overall, with first place going to Orange with a 2 hours and 57 seconds run, followed by Fear Agent with a 2:05:51.
And there we go. Missed ahead, heading to Era's basement, and Spiral Cave.
Well, this was Spiral Cave. Wait, where was that Hera? Wasn't Hera...
It's the other house. It's the
Right.
C-shaped house.
C-shapes, correct, yeah. Alright, so here we have AFG in the booth with us. GG.
GG.
GG, thank you. How are you tonight?
My brain's fried.
Oh yes, our brain is fried, but it's fine. It was quite entertaining.
Hey, what the hell was the logic of Trinex? What were we supposed to beat him with?
I don't know. we were more concerned about the hookshot logic. I'll be honest.
Or the moon pro logics, you know.
My God. Yes. Yeah. What?
Right. Yeah. Like, see, that was like the thing was. Well, so let's start with the moon pearl because there was complications trying to head to the right side of GT.
Yes. Yeah, man, after that Moon Pearl showed up there, I was really, really sad that I didn't get there without the cape getting by the Bridge of Doom. But man, yeah, that was quite a fun path to get to the Moon Pearl. You kind of had a feeling something was going on with the GT with it being behind the mirror like that. But, bleh.
I mean, the bunny walk already to there just takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it's something you don't want to do. And
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, this scene was just so weird on a logical standpoint.
Yeah.
Just like, first it was Moon Pearl, then it was Hookshot, and then yeah, that's just only the two that we were trying to figure out.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if there was one of those bottles were accessible via bunny walking in some way, because I can't imagine that you're supposed to beat Trinex with a Master Sword without half magic. Like, is that even possible? Because I got that third sword out of logic, so I was very happy to get it, but...
Wait, but wasn't half magic accessible, though?
Was it? Okay, if it was, that makes sense then. Okay.
I think it was.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a blur. It's been it's 2 hours away, so.
There were, like you said, with the Moon Pearl and I mean, the hook shot for me being Gomo, like maybe what you guys saw in Mr. Ed's End was a little bit different with the logic for it. So I forget where the Hera Small was. So that wasn't a what moment for me. But the Moon Pearl and the hammer just made me go, what? In loud form.
There was a key on pad.
God.
I was gonna comment and say, like, yeah, like, knowing your history of Hera Basement, I was wondering if you were like, what were you thinking when as soon as you got that hook shot from that?
I was wondering where Royale with Cheese was. This is a dream moment for Royale with Cheese, and I hope she got to experience it live and in living color.
Great tracker, by the way.
Ah, the tracker?
Yeah, Royale with Cheese.
Oh, cool. Oh, was she tracking tonight?
Oh wait, oh no, this lady were in Linda, but I'm just saying in general, she's a good tracker.
Oh, she is a phenomenal tracker. I love when she's tracking. She does such a great job, and everybody does a great job managing the. I hear there have been some issues with this SG tracker of late, so everybody managing that is just doing a phenomenal job.
They are. If you want to know a small fun fact, the small key on pad is the Thief Sound Small.
Of course. God. Okay. Yeah, that was one thing. I was trying to figure out, am I going back to ice ever, or am I just not doing that at any point in my life? Because only the one item was in logic behind the hammer, so I was... Do I want to do ice, or do I want to pretend that's not a thing?
Well, that's the other fun part, because that item that was in logic is actually the ice big key.
Of course! Of course! Why not?
And we were debating if that would qualify as being locked behind Oakshot or not.
My God. What?
I still don't think that applies. Like, just... But I don't know. I really don't know.
Ugh. So I got to avoid that logical headache. So that's nice, because I've enough headaches as it is, so thank God I never did that.
Yeah. Logically, it's like the scene is just a logistical nightmare in and of itself.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, the mushroom for the Eastern Big Key for the fire. Come on, really? Come on.
Yeah, that was just bad.
Stop.
That was just bad in general. That wasn't even just weird logical nightmare stuff. It's just that's just a bad spot.
Oh, God. By the way, on the point of Eastern Palace, I hope you enjoyed tonight's production of AFG Has Amnesia with Bridge Chest. I had a lot of fun with that.
Whitmire, yes, we were wondering about this. That's good that you're bringing it up. We saw you go down and then up and then go out and go back in, then go out again. What was going through your mind at that point?
When I went on the bridge and saw that chest, I was like, I did it twice. I did it twice. How did I do it twice? And I got very angry. And I said, all right, how do I fix this? And all right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off, take the pain I have inflicted on myself, go walk the hell back, get the stupid thing. It's not better to come back and do Mire 2 again. God, let's just get the chest. I hate my life.
For what it's worth, I have Eastern Palace the Eastern Palace bridge chest mount myself. Well, I mean this is more talk about Mire here, but I left the Eastern Palace one time. I left the first Eastern Palace chest out, and that was where Eastern Big was, and that was just horrible.
Oh.
And I am just gonna say here, GG's to Mr. Head for finishing this race.
GG.
Yep, got an official racetime.gg time of 2 hours 20 minutes and 40 seconds, finishing 6th overall. Then we had then after AFG was Telethar in 4th with a 2:17:59, and Shire with fifth place with a 2:20:17. So close race between Shire and Mr. Ed. And speaking of Mr. Ed, he is right now. GG.
GG.
GG's. All right, AFG. I'm going to start off with you. Okay.
No. What do you want?
No, I just want to know. Let me guess. You got the Harris small key, and you're like, I'm going to go through here, basically. I've got my hook shot. Please.
That's exactly how I sounded, and yes, that's what happened.
Oh my God! I figured I at least was in a glove go mode, and then it's like, okay, I need both, and then it's like, all right, I literally oh my God, I'm telling you, honest to God, it had to have been an hour, close to an hour. I was basically like, I gotta find a glove and a hook shot. That's it.
Ooh.
And then, as per tradition, I'm gonna do everything else. And oh my God, that was so painful. I mean, I didn't get a hover today. That stunk. Oh God. But GG's to you, AFG. I'm glad that you got retribution in this mode after an earlier loss to me earlier, which we won't talk about.
Oh, I'll talk about it. When I played in Topsy Turvy Tuesday with you, I decided that dying was a good way to route the seed, and I wanted to give you charity and give you something to be happy about because I foresaw the future where I would whoop you for all to see. So you're welcome for the charity earlier tonight.
Charity. You hear that, guys? Charity.
Charity.
Yeah, wow. It's sympathy. I like that. Charity.
For context.
Hey, how about that? By the way, how about that Moon Pearl? That was probably the greatest Moon Pearl I've seen in a long time.
We were quite astonished for the location of that Moon Pearl. I must say, we were not understanding why it was there.
First, two things. First of all, for context, Topsy Turvy Tuesday is something that AFG runs, so just wanted to throw that out there. And then second of all, I like how the start of this just ended up just being like a wrestling promo.
You can't tangle with a horse any other way. I found out that you got to throw the saddle on him and take him for a ride. That's the only way.
Yeah, that is the truth. That is legit the truth. I mean, all I can say is this is basically my prophecy with my file name where it must be AFG did not come through is really, really disappointing for anybody that supports me and feel like I let them down. I wholeheartedly apologize. But AFG got the better of me today, so Although, all right, a 178 collection rate. I basically fluffed the rest of Swamp House in the hopes that I somehow snuck a 196. That was my goal. That was my goal.
Oh, I did swamp without the hook. I was looking for that thing.
Let me. All right, so I can already see. All right, so you don't have the book.
No.
The book is in Rando room in GT.
Oh, I wanted
So-
to be with the book again. It would have been great to do that 3
Yeah.
times.
So I knew. So basically, like Ether Tablet, I knew was out. I knew Helmastar was out because I'm like 100% convinced. I was pretty certain when I was thinking about it. One of the pod keys was locked, so I'm like, well, Helma can't have anything. But yeah, I still checked all the 6-key lock stuff for the fun of it.
Yes.
So like I'm trying to piece like the logic as far as say I can cancel that out. I'm missing a GT small, which I'm pretty certain if I were to take a shot in the dark, it was either PED, which I did happen to see that it was a key, or and AFG. I don't know if you ended up taking this. Did you happen to take the Desert East to Desert West?
Yes, I did.
All right, was that the floating island?
No, that was
No.
Mimic Gate Vanilla. That was Mimic Vanilla, if you didn't catch that.
Mimic Vanilla?
Yes.
No, that's Desert West.
Isn't that what you asked for? What
No, I asked. No, I'm sorry. I probably did. Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock West? No, I've never seen that.
All right. So yeah, I'm guessing Turtle Rock West is floating island. I knew that there's a small key. It could have been the Thieves Town key, which would have been hysterical. But I'm like,
Well,
it just did not feel like it was the GT climb. So I basically exhausted every option, and Hera Basement was the last one before I was gonna have to say I got to do. I'm gonna have to do the climb.
Actually, Thiefstown Small was on PED.
Oh, it's Thieves Town Small is on PED. All right, so then maybe GT4 is on Floating Island, if I were to guess, which I'm guessing is Turtle Rock West, since I'm pretty certain that was one I did. That was the only thing I did not find. Basically, I mean, ugh. Oh, this was, and I felt like I felt so good for the longest time. I basically just cleared out crystal dungeons, just kind of see, like kind of. I don't want to say that I neglected like doing overworld checks or checking out entrances, but it's like, hey, you know what? I can go ahead and I can beat this. I can beat this. I can beat this. Next thing I knew, I had like 4 crystals, or at least 3. I felt really good about things. And then as I'm going along, I'm thinking, all right, what do I need? I don't know what Hera is. The Hera Big Key on Saha was hysterical. And then, then just after that, it just was like, all right, well, I probably need a glove to open up an entrance, or a couple entrances for Swamp and Thieves Town, let alone the fact that I basically needed 2. Which actually, I probably didn't even need to. If the Turtle Rock West connector is on Floating Island, I still only needed the 1. The Mitts basically set me to and by the way, as a spoiler, I did get my wish. 196 collection rate. It just was I felt good, and then I felt bad, and then when I saw AFG finished, I got very dejected.
As it should be.
Well, that's good. Orange is telling us that Floating Island was actually on GT Small.
Which makes sense, yeah.
Key-wise, you did not need that 4th key because the hookshot couldn't be behind that 4th key.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Well, thank God the hookshot wasn't there.
Yes.
I've got to give credit to Orange and Fear for getting a 2-hour 57 and 2:05:51. That is rather nicely done. Very nice.
GG's. Yeah, GG's to them, and GG's to everybody that participated in this. I mean, this was I guess the best way I can describe this is for anybody that's new to possibly watching Crosskeys and seeing that Moon Pearl is in GT Big Chest. That's the joys of Crosskeys. Anything basically can be anywhere. Outside of no logic and all that fun happy jazz. But yeah, that was a treat. I was really and on top of it, the biggest thing that I had to keep in mind was I still had to keep in mind the logic chain because in AFG, I don't know if he ended up doing this, but I ended up going to Skull Woods and Bunny Farm.
Oh yeah.
And okay, so you got the lamp, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So
that's
I had to
something.
be very careful as far as to say, well, what is still in logic? Now I knew that I didn't do tile room because I was just too lazy. But when I got the Eastern big key, I'm thinking technically that's only one check. And then when I got the fire rod, I laughed. I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's another one. The Meyer big key was like, well, I really don't feel like going to Meyer because I don't think the Moon Pearl is going to be there. So it's like, okay, well, I got this random fire rod from Eastern Palace. Let me go ahead and I saved the portal at the dam, so I can go back to GT in a very slow manner. And then when I killed off the Ice Armos, and I saw the GT big key, and I'm like, okay, really, this is what it's gonna be? And yeah, lo and behold, there it was. So that was beautiful.
That reminds me, AFG, did you almost mirror out of GT after finding that big key? You had that mirror out at that point.
Yes, I was prepared to, and I said, wait a minute. Wait, no, we can't leave yet. We have to stay. I almost, not quite. It wasn't as Alzheimer's as the two bridge chests. I'll say that much.
Well, I must say that was quite a treat to watch you both race this. Cross key logic aside, it was quite entertaining.
Oh, I'm glad.
And things that I didn't think was possible in cross key happened.
And thank you so much for commenting. I can't wait to watch it back and see what the hell happened. It was fantastic.
You love it. You love
just-
watching both.
Just watch both of us just try to piece together this logic because we're just gonna be like fumbling over ourselves all about hookshot because geez, that hookshot got confusing.
Ooh, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Just what I need before a proper evening slumber in my cozy bed.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know what? I'm glad you're going to be able to sleep nice and easy. Where I'm going to be reminiscing about this defeat forever and ever and ever until I think about the fact that I destroyed you earlier today. So.
Oh, you did. It wasn't.
I mean, if you put the time gap in play as far as how much I whooped you then versus how much you whooped me here, I'm ahead. So keep that in mind. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Listen to this guy, the time gap. But you see what happened here is that we put ourselves in front of the whole world, and what happened was you crumbled and I did not. So eat me.
Listen. The man only speaks facts. I crumbled. I mean, clearly. Put it this way, I clearly crumbled. I couldn't hover Hookshot Cave today. I couldn't for whatever reason. I always like to just hover the big chest into Skull Woods, and that was a natural disaster. And I'm like, well, you know what? Yeah, I guess I don't have it today. And yeah, I mean, listen, it is what it is. I will take my defeat like a man. I am happy. In all honesty, not only am I happy that I lose, and I will be gracious from right now. I'll be gracious. But for anybody that does not know who Average Frustrated Gamer is, do not be distracted by his actual name. He is a slightly above average, not as frustrated as it sounds, but yes, he is a gamer. But all honesty, I'm very happy to call him a good friend of mine that I met into the rando community. And the main reason why I say that is for anybody that's out there who wants to take apart people like Average Frustrated Gamer and so many more people in the rando community are incredibly helpful and nice and welcoming. And I could not have I can't be more fortunate to find a better group of people that I've encountered by playing a 30 plus year old game. So to AFG, to everybody that participated in this, GG's. To the restreamers, comms, trackers, everybody in the speed gaming family. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't even be able to put on a show. So again, thank you guys very much to that. Yeah, I hope. Lastly, I hope that we did put on a good show. I again feel like I'm a loser because, well, I am. Yeah, that's. I've said my piece and I'm sticking to it.
Is this how we're going to end, on a love letter after all?
Yes,
the
on a
talk,
love
we're
letter.
gonna end
Yes,
on a love
yes,
letter? Shouldn't we be
yes,
hitting each other with
yes.
steel
Now,
chairs
now,
by
now, now,
and-
why don't you show me? Why don't you show me love and say, hey, you know what? You didn't play so bad for a guy that doesn't have thumbs and only has hooves.
I mentioned a promo earlier, and this is starting to become a promo just by after saying that. We gotta cut it off somewhere. So
Yes. Mr. Ed, I love you. You are a fantastic gentleman. It is a pleasure to have you. And I will cut it there because you do have to go home sometime, don't you?
What in the stable? Yeah, probably.
Get you a nice sugar lick and send you back.
Oh man. Well, I don't know if I deserve a sugar look after today.
okay.
But yeah.
Oh man.
Oh god.
Okay.
Well,
Get my composure here.
yeah, thank you both again for this race. That was quite entertaining again. Please make sure to follow both Average Frustrated Gamer and Mr. Head 3 on their Twitch channel. As you can see, the link is in the chat. And thank you all for watching. I am leaving the closing to Professor Renderer.
Yep. Just really quick before we wrap things up. So, tomorrow, for Wednesday, October 19th, we're going off of Eastern time here, so change your adjust your time zones accordingly. So at 11 to start things off at 11:10, we have a Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 5 Invitational matchup between JK Lowell and OK Dudes, with JK Lowell's representee being Radical Sniper 99, and OK Dudes representative is Jolo Ninja, playing Casual Boots. We also have we have open league matchups, so league is still going on as just to put it shortly. 7 p.m.'s daily race will be beatable only. I mentioned this last time, but they got swapped. So beatable only means the items can only be put in spots where you can gain access to, and anything that's not required by the seed is inaccessible. So so yeah. We also have Pokemon Crystal Randomizer coming back in for its Cinco Bingo tournament. So that's always fun to see Pokemon Crystal come back. And then we have the Link to the Past Randomizer No Logic tournament restarting again after a bit of a hiatus. We're making progress though. It's going to be Crystal versus Chexium. That's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern time. And then on 8 p.m. Eastern, we have the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide randomizer weekly race that's going to happen. So if you want to watch all of those, be able to be following the Speed Gaming channels and Speed Gaming 2 through 6. But with that being said, I hope you have a nice day. Also, just like Trifox, there's a speedrun competition for Trifox, a new game that came out. It's about $1,000 of prizes, so I have to just shout that out really quick. But for now, I'm Professor Render, and that was our tarot. Thanks for everyone for watching this, and we'll see you soon.